I'm trying out a lavalier, guys. Can you hear me? How's the volume? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? All right. All right, guys. I'm here downtown LA near the Wii Spa for the supposed possible round 2 of the shenanigans that's going to happen. There are plenty of cops in the area. Antifa apparently came through and tagged a bunch of buildings last night. So thank you for those of you that sent me funds to help plan this trip. It's been a crazy trip so far. If you followed my social media platform, I didn't even put any links out. Oh well, YouTube. But I've had the FBI contacting me recently and harassing me, in my opinion. And then I am now getting the blunt end of airport security. I was so thoroughly screened at the airport yesterday that I had to miss my first flight, and they had to give me another flight. They swabbed every single one of my items and my possessions for signs of explosive, which if any of you know me, that's nonsense. I don't have anything to do with anything like that. But they patted me down so thoroughly, like rubbed my genitals. Did not like that. Wasn't a fan of that. So I'm gonna just walk around here and show you some more of the graffiti that's going on from last night. Police are out in droves today. I don't know the LA dynamics so much, so I don't know how much is going to go on today, because there's a lot of police presence out here. But we'll see how that is affected. Here's a crowd up here, kind of walking in blind. Not really sure who the red team and blue team is yet. So they came and tagged this housing building here last night. Who are you? Housing, sewers, services, not sweeps. So there looks like a good presence of police up here. I see some people in block, a lot of people not in block. There's the green hats. So I think I'm walking up on Antifa right now. There's Antifa over there on the other corner, wearing the pink block. Solidarity with trans, I guess. Here's a very large police presence here this morning. Looks like 50-ish people here so far. This looks like mostly an Antifa crowd, so I don't know where.
Commanding officer of Rampart Division. The southwest corner of Rampart and Wilshire, the southwest corner, is going to be occupied by law enforcement officers as our operation area. We're going to close it off. We're going to put tape, and this is going to be an intersection that we will utilize for the duration of this protest. I'm asking you voluntarily to move over to the northwest corner. That area has been designated for you to safely protest and exercise your First Amendment right. I'm asking you for your cooperation, please. I will give you a few minutes to start walking to to the northwest corner. Please cooperate with this order.
It can't be heard past the first line of people.
Y'all just shot someone with a knife yesterday. Maybe you should go deal with that. You blew up a block fucking 3 weeks ago.
A little bit more
Terrorist
enforcement.
motherfucker.
I'm asking you again, please walk over to the northwest corner, your designated safe protest area.
Standing in the red zone, you're gonna get cited.
What do you say?
You're standing in a, it's closed.
But the street is closed off, right?
No,
Though.
no, there's a don't walk. You're standing in the roadway. The street is not closed off. It's still open for traffic. There's cars still able to go. You're gonna get cited. Get on the sidewalk.
All right. It looks like you had the street closed off, so I didn't think this crosswalk was set. So the police are harassing me for being in the crosswalk, a closed off intersection. There's no car traffic here. There's no reason why someone shouldn't be able to be in that crosswalk. It's a ludicrous application of the law.
I'm asking everyone.
So I'm gonna just go and film the area here real quick, do a perimeter walkthrough. What's up, CJ? I don't know if you just watched, but they're gonna arrest people for going in this crosswalk against the light here, even though the road's shut down. So be careful.
This is secure over here. You're welcome to go on that side of the street if you want.
All right.
This is secure over here.
I don't have the right to walk through
No,
here.
this is closed. We have this secure for our command.
All right. Where is the
other side.
where are the boundaries of the secure area?
Okay, the designated protest zone is the northwest.
I'm not
corner.
protesting.
Okay, are you media?
I'm independent press. I'm here to film
So
this situation.
That's the northeast corner. That's the designated Crespo post area for you guys to do your press. Yes, that's
As far as I understand my rights, I'm free to walk around the city and film.
You are.
I'm not Antifa. I'm here to film this event.
I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm saying is that the designated press area is the northeast corner. This here is part of our command post area that we're operating in.
But the way you're framing that is that I have to stand in a certain spot to be press, and I don't think that's the law.
That's the designated press area.
So you keep encroaching on me. Please give me my space. I'm trying to walk away from you.
So just if you want to go on that side of the street, you can.
All right.
Okay?
I'm just walking. I'm filming on a public street.
I understand all the.
I'm not
First
committing any
Amendment.
crime. Please stop walking towards me. I'm trying to give you space. Please stop walking towards me and aggressing on me. I'm not committing any crimes.
I'm talking to you.
You're getting in my bubble.
No, there's no bubble, buddy. You can go over there. That's the designated press area. If you want to be pressed, but don't walk up behind the officers here.
So the LAPD is taking a stance of just trying to remove the situation without seeking justice.
Right? Just stay out of the street.
The crosswalk sign is go right now. We can be in the crosswalk right now. So this is this kind of situation where I am not a fan of backing the blue, because they're arbitrarily using laws to intimidate people to comply with giving up their rights. I have the right to be here. It's a public area. This is a public street. I have the right to film here. They can't tell us to go stand on a corner somewhere. That's not how freedom works. So even though they clearly have this street shut off, they're not letting traffic come through here. They're telling people that they're going to get arrested for being in the sidewalk, even though the police are in the street right there. So
Los Angeles Police Department needs this southwest corner so that we can protect the rights of everyone here present today.
You looking at me? The grow up neighborhood. There's motherfuckers with knives, fighting with the party.
Protest peacefully.
You guys, come on, let's move it across the street. It's
So-
really okay. You guys are bugging the
not at all legal for them to be telling us where to stand. It's a public street, public area. They have no business telling us where we can and cannot stand on a public area. I mean, if people want to, if the police want to keep law and order, just actually use the law. Don't like use the law arbitrarily against the citizens. Very.
Anybody?
What do you say?
You're with anybody? You're just by yourself?
I'm independent.
You're independent? Then
Yeah.
you probably don't belong here.
Well,
Oh yeah, great. You want to dox me? Don't give a fuck. Nobody's
I'm not
gonna
trying to
come find
dox
me
you.
and do it.
You're threatening me, so just stay away from me,
I'm
okay?
threatening you? Really?
You're
But I'm
you're
here
trying to
by
intimidate me.
yourself?
Yes.
You're by yourself and you're independent. What are you here for? Then
I'm
you're
here-
not here to document like anything that's healthy for anybody.
I'm here to
right?
document this event.
But like I said, you're not here to document anything that's healthy
Well-
for anybody.
Well, you don't need to be here either.
I'm actually here in support of trans lives.
I'm in support
As
of.
somebody that's part of the LGBTQ community.
I'm here
I'm
to
not
document the
trying to
event
show
and
you
to
are
show the difference between the two stances.
So what's your stance then? That's what I'm
I think that trans people
Because
deserve.
obviously
I
we're
think
here
trans
for
people
one
deserve to be
reason.
treated with dignity and respect and allowed to have their freedom. I also think that women deserve to feel comfortable and have be vulnerable in their private
it's actually
spaces.
false though, right? It wasn't even like an actual thing that happened. This person actually caused the scene within the Wii Spa.
So you're
it wasn't
saying
real. It actually
so
didn't
so that
happen.
lady that
So
claimed
there's
that.
nobody, yeah, there's actually nobody that's come out that actually was there. So
Well, there were several women in the lobby that gave testimony and stated that did happen. So
where's the evidence? Where's the evidence for that?
the evidence is those women that
And
came
did
into.
you see the original video?
Yeah.
So you notice how there were literally no transgender people around? Did you see that? Yeah? Okay.
The evidence you're saying something didn't exist because lack of evidence, but the account of those several women is evidence.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do they have like physical proof? Like they have like videos or pictures or anything? Or is it just word
Witness
mouth?
testimony is evidence.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you believe, then that's on you. Okay.
That's what I believe. You're free to believe what you want to believe. I think everybody should have the right to live the way they want and think the way they want.
You do you, girl. Okay.
Very common tactic of Antifa is to have women instigate confrontation. So now you guys can hear my voice, but can you hear the voice of the crowd and people that the camera's facing?
Do you all really think it's okay for a man to go into a woman's spa?
It's a lost cause, bro.
I'm here to talk.
It's not worth your fucking time.
I'm not worth the fucking time.
Where's your mask at?
I don't need a mask. It's a public place.
Anyone recognize?
Why is it okay for a man to go into a woman's facility? Why is that okay?
Non-Beverly Hills chilling. No, you're not swiping at me. No? You are not swiping
What
at
you
me.
gonna do? Hey, no! I'm just fucking with you, bitch.
There's no need for that.
Fucking pussy. In front of a fucking thing.
So the cops are just watching this. These people are surrounding him. She just committed assault. She just assaulted him. They're doing nothing. Police are doing nothing. They're just watching.
There's one man and one woman. That's it. You had a push? Really?
The police are just watching this. They're not stopping. That person just assaulted him and they didn't do anything about it. They're surrounding him. They're intimidating him. This is not peaceful protest. There's more and more activists coming up.
Fuck out of here.
Damn, you're lucky there's some fucking pigs around. Oh, he's hiding behind us right now. I thought you was a man, motherfucker. Step up then, bitch.
Get back on the sidewalk. The street is open. Get back on the sidewalk.
Everyone stay at the corner.
The LAPD here is to intimidate citizens to express their freedom and use their rights, and they're watching crimes happen and doing nothing about it.
Sidewalk. Sidewalk.
Jerry,
Get the fuck out of here, Arthur!
Yeah, listen to the police. Shut up.
This is what happened.
All the time. We know that's what y'all here for.
As soon as the police leave, you know what happened. Run!
That's why.
Or pull weapons, one of the two. They're cowards.
Y'all might as well put police for Trump.
Hey, why don't you put his ass out like you did us? Can I come over there too then?
Right there.
Right.
Right there. I just want to talk real quick, fool.
Why we couldn't go over there?
Come outside, fool. No one's going to jump you. Come here.
Yeah, look at this. All these
Arthur, you're not in the protest zone, Arthur.
So see, there's the first car that tried to go through here, and the police are, so this road is officially stopped off.
Arthur, you little bitch.
They're going to use the law arbitrarily against people to say that if you're in the crosswalk against the sign, that they're going to arrest you just for being in a closed street, and it's ludicrous.
Arthur, you're not in the protest zone.
Group of police leaving.
Rampart, man, if you guys have followed much in LA, like Rampart police.
So look at the swine over here. What are they doing?
Now he's up to some shit, yo.
Now they're letting cars go through here. Suits down there at the back of the WeSpa building. So, if you guys are just tuning in, I'm in LA. This is the corner of Rampart and Wilshire, and downtown LA. This is the WeSpa. About a month ago, there was a woman that went to the front desk on camera, and she said that she was uncomfortable that there was a biological male trans woman in the women's locker room with male genitalia showing, and she and some other women were complaining to the staff. There was a little bit of a scene there. Cops are talking to Antifa up there. But so it was about a month ago, and the main woman, she was a black woman, and she complained that there was a biological male in the locker room and it was making her feel uncomfortable, and that the person was exposing their male genitalia to the women in there and girls. I don't think it was being reported as like a flashing situation, but just walking around undressed openly in front of people, and a lot of the women were uncomfortable. So on, I believe it was July 3rd, there was a group of people that came out to protest, a lot of just independent women by themselves, not affiliated with anybody, came out to just protest and say that they didn't feel comfortable with that in their spaces. A group of what I'll frankly call extremists and bigoted street preacher crowd came out with their like hellfire signs and just accosting people. But then Antifa also came out, and Antifa, from the footage I saw, started assaulting people. The right-winger crowd was also involved in assaults, and it kind of turned into a little bit of a crazy riot. So today, it's been planned for a couple weeks that this is supposed to be round 2 of that, and that the one side is here to, in their point of view, to argue for trans rights, and the other side is here to argue for women's rights. There are also some like street preacher people here that are like kind of really pushing their religious point of view, but there's differing factors here. I think this is a social situation that's growing in our society today. We don't know what the conversation between women's rights and trans rights is, because there is a clash there. Because many women feel unsafe with biological males in their private areas, like locker rooms and bathrooms. And then there's also people that suffer from gender dysphoria and transgender situations, and they're wanting to have access to facilities and that sort of thing. So I'm trying to just report on this unbiasedly today. You all know I have opinions on this stuff. I'm very strong in favor of women's right to comfort, right to privacy, the women's right to have a sense of safety and vulnerability. I think those desires and those wishes that women have are valid. I also don't agree at all with people that are attacking trans people or accosting them. Like, you can have your different beliefs, but there's no reason to attack people. Like, let people live their lives how they want to live. So, and it all boils down to things like locker rooms and bathrooms, because that's where those two belief systems come to a head. And so, how is society going to deal with this situation? How are they going to deal with the fact that there are people that live their lives according to a transgender view of the world, and there are people that are biological female that are uncomfortable about that. So it's something that's happening in society today. We're trying to decide as a culture like how to handle that.
Well, it doesn't make any sense to me, and I mean, like, belief presence makes no sense to anybody, but the fact is they have this place completely taped off, surrounded by police, protecting V-Spot from protesters, like from the queer people and allies who are here to defend it. They're here to protect it from this group, when this is the group that showed up to protect it in the first place, and this group was stabbed by far-right,
I heard there was supposed to be a right-wing side or patriot side of conservative gathering here today, but I'm not really noticing a strong presence of that. So I don't know if it's just going to be mostly the left that's showing up for this, or there's actually going to be people from the other side counter-protesting. So my stance on this is I don't think that women, especially girls, should have to see male genitals in their private areas, in their locker rooms and bathrooms. It makes them feel uncomfortable, and their comfort is valid and something that needs to be cared for. The comfort and vulnerability of women in our society is something very special and valuable, and it needs to be cared for. But at the same time, there are people that have whatever you believe about it. There are transgender people, and I don't think it's right for them to just get beat up. Like, it gets weird when they do things like go into women's vulnerable spaces and expose like male private body parts. Like that's highly suspicious, if you ask me. But I don't know. Like try to figure out this situation with compassion and love. So you guys know that I value anarchy as a form of government. I don't think it works, because if you don't have a government, then bad people are just going to form a government, like a mafioso style government. But I believe fundamentally that people should have the right to live and act however they want, and nobody should tell other people what to do. You should be free to live and be who you are in society. Like that's the core of anarchy. Is I don't believe in the idea of authority to where one man has the right to tell another man what to do. I think people should, as long as people aren't directly hurting people, they should be able to do whatever they want. So it looks like a lot of the cops are leaving. So again, we're here in LA at the Wilshire and Rampart. Hello. And there are two groups. It's mostly the left group that came out to support transgender rights, and there's also a few right-winger crowd that's come out to against that. There was a preacher that was, I think he was here last week. They didn't bring their hellfire signs this week, but there was a preacher here that got run out of the crowd earlier. I think he was one of the guys that was screaming at people last week. So I'm getting targeted out, so I'm going to walk a little bit towards the police line here a little bit. I might get jumped right now, so looks like I'm safe. But can I help you?
I'm just trying to see who you're talking to.
I'm talking to my live stream. I came out here to film the event.
What's the problem then? Why are you so worried?
You're circling me.
Why are you wearing a Punisher shirt?
Because I like the Punisher.
Yeah? Take off your mask. Let me see who you are real quick.
No.
No?
Take off your mask. Let me see who you are.
No, why? I'm asking you. You're over here in our space.
I like the Punisher because it's a comic book. Nothing to do with the military or anything like that.
Really?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yes. I'm anti-authoritarian.
You're what?
I'm anti-authoritarian.
Okay.
Why this bitch got his gun fucking in his hand? Put your gun up, dude. You's a fucking trigger happy motherfucker. Dude, why you holding your gun like that? Who you want to shoot so bad, bitch? Big man! You scary motherfucker! Put your hand up,
Can you do me a favor and stop standing right behind me?
I can stand wherever the fuck I want. I'm on the sidewalk.
You can, but you're disrespecting me. You're trying to intimidate me. You're following me. You're trying to stay in my blind spot.
See who you're talking to.
I'm talking to my live stream. I told you that. That's none of your business.
It's none of my business.
Yeah.
It's none of my business.
Yeah. Don't you think that people have the freedom to act however they want to do?
No.
You don't think people should be able to do whatever they want?
Not you.
No?
Nope.
So you're a fascist.
I'm not a fascist.
You think that only you should have freedoms.
I'm anti-fascist.
But you're acting fascist. You're acting totalitarian.
Oh, really?
So nobody's bothering you, but because they're not in your group, they.
What you're fucking doing.
Okay, stop standing behind me, please.
I could do whatever the fuck I want.
You can, up until you invade the rights of other people. You're invading my space. You're trying to intimidate me.
Okay, cool. What are you gonna do?
Nothing. I don't have any plan. I'm here to report the situation.
Record it, just like I am.
This is LAPD, y'all. These are the ones that shoot a motherfucker with a knife from 10 feet away. They're too cowardly to use anything else. These are the motherfuckers that blow up a fucking block, injuring people, trying to show off. The only good pig is a dead pig. Y'all should kill yourselves. Fuck y'all. Take that gun, stuff it in your mouth, and see what happens. Dumb bitch. Scary ass motherfucker. You want to shoot someone so bad? Shoot me. I'm unarmed. Do what y'all do best. Shoot unarmed motherfuckers. Dumb bitch. Look at him, y'all. He's live right now. Everybody in the world watching your bitch ass holding that gun like that because you a coward. You a coward ass motherfucker. Put the gun up. Fucking bitch. Look at him. Look at him. He's all terrified. He's like, the Nazis are gonna come. Somebody gotta protect him. I got the gun, man. There you go. Take at least one hand off. No, that's the fucking. Fuck this bitch. Fuck this bitch. Fuck this bitch.
It's just a comic book. I don't agree with the military use of it. I like the Punisher. I just think the anti-hero. Well, you talked to me. You addressed me.
I wasn't talking to you. I was
Wait
talking
till
to
the
someone else.
orange people come out here one day.
The Punisher is the idea of the anti-hero. So standing up against the status quo and be willing to be a villain so that you can stand up for what you believe is right, regardless of.
What's your YouTube?
I'm not going to tell you.
Exactly. There you go. So you have something to hide, right?
That's what I've been asking for
You're
10
already
years
in.
now.
You're not coming to me in good faith. You're already coming to me and trying to intimidate me. You're following me. You're not a good actor. You're not coming to me. You're not
I'm not acting.
an actor like a participant.
telling you straight up.
You're not coming to me treating me with the same respect that you would want to be treated with.
I'm not gonna treat someone with the Punisher.
It's a comic book, man.
Any information, who the fuck they are. So you're doing this to yourself.
Who are you?
Doesn't matter who I am.
So there we go. Like, let's have a mutual respect for each other. Yes, I'm live streaming.
You're live streaming,
Yes,
right?
I think that I'm interested in this event. I've struggled with gender dysphoria my whole life. I think that society is having a situation where there are many women that feel uncomfortable with biological males in their private areas, but there are also transgender people that are marginalized, and society doesn't know what to do with that yet. And it's very polar. One side is only focusing on the rights of transgender people, the other side is only focusing on the rights of women. And conversation needs to be happening rather than just conflict, so we can decide how are we going to respect both parties.
So what's the problem you giving me your YouTube? If
What's the
you're
problem with
saying
you showing me your face and your name? Like, you're not being mutual with me. You're trying to.
I'm not telling you to show me your face right now. I'm telling you to show me your YouTube. There's a difference. You're live streaming, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
You guys don't even like live streamers. Like, just the fact that I'm live streaming, like your flyers said that no live streamers are allowed. So
I'm glad you're aware.
I believe in freedom. I'm actually like an idealistic anarchist. I don't believe that anarchy works because it creates a power vacuum for small groups of like mafioso style people to take over. But I don't believe in the idea of authority. I don't believe that one man has the right to tell another man what to do unless that person is directly harming them. I believe in people's freedom.
You're putting me in danger by facing your camera at me.
You can frame it however you want. You're the one that came up to me and started standing behind me and following me around. You're the one. Like, if you want to be treated with mutual respect, let's treat each other well. I'll treat you the way that you want to be treated. But you're being manipulative. You're following me around and trying to intimidate me.
I'm not trying to intimidate you.
Yeah, you are.
I'm standing on the side.
So chat, where is the opposition crowd? Like, I thought that there was going to be a large group of conservatives that were claiming that they were going to come out here and protest. I don't see them. It's almost all leftists. So I do have a Punisher shirt on today, what he was talking about. So it's one of my favorite shirts.
Bro, you're on the end with the least amount of people and you're gripping that gun so tight. Are you scared?
Where are the conservative streamers at? Are they streaming right now?
You don't need to call your mommy. Mom, come get me. I'm scared.
Oh, fucking volunteer for training. I'll take them. I'll take all of them. Thank you. Thank you kindly. I've got a little bit more. Anybody want some water? You can go through me.
I'm gonna go walk across.
The police are all there on the corner of Rampart and Wilshire. So I literally didn't even think of the Punisher shirt being anything offensive or provocative. It's like one of my favorite characters. So it's just strange that I guess it doesn't really matter because it's not real. It's just anything will be pointed to, not and used against the person. So there's probably like 4 dozen police over there at the Wiesbaugh corner. But there's police all over the area this morning. This person just came up and tried to assault me. They tried to spray my camera. They failed though. Do you believe in freedom? Do you believe in freedom? The person tried to spray my camera, but they missed. They didn't quite have the they didn't have the courage they thought they had. So I think a lot of what happens in these situations, where the kind of situation I'm in right now, is that people react, and that's what sparks it off. So people will try to intimidate you or push you or do that, whatever. And then once you react, that's how the violence starts. So just stay calm and chilling, and people leave alone.
Look up, like, really, like, what the ultimate flashpoint is California people don't get people. And that's what, like, a lot of this ruckus is the fact that these flashpoint is interesting because they don't make any laws. So, but it's kind of become like a transgender
CJ Halliburton there filming.
standoff. Like the guys were talking when we first got here, it's weird. It's like, because it's not really,
you can claim that it was a bad choice to wear the Punisher shirt, but no matter how I dress, it's going to be tried to be used against me. So if I dressed all like a complete black bloc, they would use that against me. If I dressed like a conservative, they'd use that against me. So I just dress how I want to dress. I happen to have black pants on today too, but I wasn't trying to like dress in all black. Just a pair of pants I found last night that I liked. Just gonna flip it around and see if anybody's following me here. Sure enough, is that someone following me or walking away? So there's the police staging point over there in the parking lot behind We Spot. So I'm gonna mute here for a second. Okay, if you guys have been watching the stream from the beginning, this is why I don't like police. This is why I don't like them. I'm gonna go walk up to these cops and ask them a question as to why they're watching assaults happen. So I've got to be really careful. So I got to walk up here to the intersection and cross and approach them and ask them if I can approach them. Hello, officers. I had a question about procedure. So I had a question about procedure. There are several like minor assaults that have already been happening, and the police force up there is watching it happen. Why aren't they arresting people that are committing crimes?
Well, sir, I'm not too sure. I mean, we're supposed to hear. We don't know what's going on up there. So.
Are you saying that you're unaware of? Is there a policy that LAPD has for that situation?
As it pertains to what?
As there's dozens of officers up there, and they're watching. Occasionally, people assault other people, and they're just watching and not intervening and not prosecuting crimes that they're witnessing.
Well, I don't know, sir. Have you talked to those officers up there?
You gotta talk to them, dude.
Yeah, we're not witnessing. Then again, if they saw mutual combat, them going at it with each other.
It wasn't mutual combat.
So I wasn't there, so that's why you gotta ask the cops that are over there.
Yeah.
We weren't there, so we can't really say. That's why you gotta ask the guys that the cops that actually saw. I, with a lot of other American citizens, I'm not Antifa at all. I'm out of Portland, Oregon, and I film this kind of stuff. I'm interested today here because I think there's a clash in society between transgender rights and women's rights. Yeah. I think women have the right to feel safe and vulnerable in their private spaces. I also think that everybody has the right to live in dignity. But so that's where I'm coming from. I and a lot of other people are having a hard time respecting police because of stuff like that. You guys are getting paid by our tax dollars. You have the role in society to enforce the law, and often it's enforced arbitrarily. Like somebody will be given a ticket in a crosswalk of a closed street because technically they're breaking a law, but then they'll watch people assault people that aren't engaging in mutual combat. I saw it happen several times over there, and they just watched and did nothing. How are we supposed to respect you if that's what happens? I mean, sir, like we said, we weren't there. We're not able to speak for them. I mean, there's some supervisors up there. I would say
we're not allowed to go to where the police are. The police have occupied that corner, and that's where they're at. We've been told not to go over there.
Yeah, we're just supposed to hear. Yeah. So that's our job today.
I understand that you're not public relations officers, but I want to be a person that respects police officers and backs them. But if more and more you guys are just upholding arbitrary use of law and not actually protecting the safety and the serenity of society, how are we supposed to protect you? Or how are we supposed to respect you? I don't understand that.
I want to respect you guys. I want to think that you guys are all good. But when stuff like that happens, when people are getting assaulted by Antifa up there and the police are just watching it, how are we supposed to respect the police? You guys are supposed to uphold and preserve the law and protect people. And when that stuff happens, hands off on Antifa, I guess. Like, I want to like uphold like the traditional American view, like the American flag. I like those flags.
Yeah.
You have a good day, man.
All right, you too, man.
I want to like that red, white, and blue patriotic American like belief system, but that's just not the way things are. Police departments are not upholding their duty to uphold justice. A lot of times they're just trying to avoid conflict, which is not a masculine thing to do. You have to face conflict to uphold justice. All right, got a bottle of, I choked on it a little bit, a bottle of water, so I want something to choke in. I'll have less cotton mouth. I didn't drink enough water this morning, apparently. So if anybody is watching, I kind of tried to not visually approach WYSIWYG because I didn't want, like my cover's already, I don't have a cover, like I'm targeted already, but if I go up and be seen associating with him, then I'll get targeted even more. Cops don't want their faces on camera, and I respect that for reasons of social. Hello, I'm not Antifa. I just don't know what I think about a lot of things anymore. Like, I'd like to say that I respect, I don't know. I don't even know if I should or not show cops' faces, or if I should respect them or not respect them. I don't know. It's like the police are moving up there. I wonder what's going on. And on cue, the crowd came directly towards them. So that's what Antifa wants. They want to look like they're not the aggressor. Sad thing that I think Antifa doesn't realize is that they're going to push society to become more authoritarian in response to their totalitarianism and authoritarian behaviors.
Y'all went over and started shit because you couldn't have peace. Oh, wait. That's the law. This is one of those chilling with the Nazis. Why you standing like a fucking coward? People that are wrong. Fuck every last kid. Y'all could have done better with your lives.
You fucking bitch even live here? Fuck out of here! You fucking cowards!
It's all too
Fuck you! And your batons! Shove them up your ass! Don't fuck yourself with them! Fuck everybody! Fuck you! Fucking white pig eat shit!
All over the fucking country. You always protect the fucking Nazis. Always protect the Klan brothers. You always protect the bigots because that's what y'all are. Fucking Nazi scum pig. Every last one of these bitches are thugs. Look at them. Look at them, y'all. They ready to do harm to the people.
We hate you.
We're ready to shut our fucking First Amendment rights down. You say, go ahead, hell yeah, that's what we're ready to do, huh?
Bring your jobs!
Name yours. What's your badge number?
You fucking pig!
2228.
Fuck
Y'all murdered somebody for a knife and tried to say with a record of gun you go.
Sit on the cactus! Sit on the cactus! Sit on! We work! We work! We work, you dumb bitch! You work, though! Stay on your fucking side, right? Right! You short fuck!
Like always, trying to start fights, and they came out like this in little bullshit force, all ready to do some shit because they cowards. I can't ever fucking let the people have the right to this one here. I just want to talk to Nazis and shit. We got a back. She was smiling and loving the Nazis, chilling with They get all the they get loving motherfuckers. Right, wrong. Blue Klux Klan. That's what we have right here. The Blue Klux Klan. Look at them. The Blue Klux Klan. Nazi scum, fascist fucks. All trying to look all tough with their little bullshit batons. I'm telling you, one day the people are going to all come out here armed. Y'all going to be outnumbered and you're going to be fucked. We be praying for mercy, but there ain't no God, homie. So y'all fucking true. We outnumbered, we outnumbered y'all. We fucking...
Officer, can I come and ask you a question?
Let a knowing person meet somebody with a punch in the back of the head.
He said to let me through.
I'm waiting for my partner, okay? Get back.
I think he said to let me through.
Okay, after they're out. I'm waiting for my partner.
Oh yeah, he's waving me in. All right. Officer, I just had a question on LAPD's policies. There have been several minor assaults that have happened right in this area in the witness of all these officers. How come the people that are assaulting people...
So I haven't seen any assaults today. There were assaults last week.
Just 20 minutes ago, minor assaults. Somebody pushed somebody.
I saw a push.
Why?
And at this point, we're dealing with safety and we're trying to establish peace. So those minor assaults we'll take a report for, but we are not going to go in and make an arrest unless it's violent in nature. So that's what we're doing right now. Right now, we're trying to defuse the situation, making peace, and allow your side and the other side the opportunity to exercise their First Amendment rights. That's what we're doing right now. We're asking for cooperation. Right now, because we've seen a lot of weapons in amongst this crowd that is here, and right now this crowd is one-sided. We've made an advisement of 5507. We've established protest zones. Those protest zones are on 3 other corners. We're allowing you to go back to those protest zones, and we want you to take your weapons to your car. In about 15 minutes, I'm going to come in and make arrests for people with weapons.
Okay. One thing that I think that the conservative people in America are having an issue when they see things like this happening is when the provocative crowd starts doing minor assaults and minor intimidation. That creates an atmosphere and an energy that keeps bubbling, and it seeds the ground to them.
And that's why we're going to start taking some action.
All right.
Fairly and across the board.
All right. There's many Americans are having a hard time today because we
don't have time for a full interview.
We want to respect you guys. We want to respect you guys, but
I need you to go on the other side of the
line. All right. Thank you.
Behind on.
I respect that the officer took the time to talk to me there. So somebody in the chat said that captains in LAPD make around 200 grand a year. Does anybody know if that's accurate? Is that true?
I've been waiting for you, Tommy. I'm waiting for you.
Fire truck coming up here, a couple of them. I can't imagine that that's just random. So there's a homeless house right there, homeless tent. I even noticed that. I thought it was a trash heap. It's a makeshift homeless camp.
Suppressing our First Amendment! Pussy! Oh, that's sweet. Go ahead!
Yeah, you're a failure, Ramirez. Big fucking piece of shit failure. Kill yourself, all of y'all. Worthless pieces of shit.
I know for a fact that there are several conservatives, if not a group of conservatives. I don't know why they're not out here. Maybe their numbers are too small.
Taking up half the city's fucking budget to stand out here and do fuck all.
I'm just curious, so which LAPD gang are you guys all a part of? Raise your hand. Like, anybody ready for a show of hands? Yeah, this is an anti-gang.
Show us your tag. Show us your tag.
Right here, fucking there.
Show us your tag, dude.
Show of hands.
One thing I didn't like, if LAPD is watching this stream, is that the minute the officer said he was done and came questions from me, they started putting their hands on me. They didn't even give me a moment to back away or anything. So, and I understand the energy and all that kind of stuff, but at the same time,
Racist badge on his fucking face. Fuck your blue line.
Look what's going on. Look what's going on.
No?
He's not arrested. They're just protecting him.
If that's true, it's something document. Otherwise, not at all.
first arrest here.
Keep your back. Keep your back. Shut up. Get back. Shut the fuck up, kid. Shut the fuck up. I'll find you next time, promise. You won't make it out. I promise you that. Come back, Thomas.
That's where their command center is set up. A bunch of police cars and a rendezvous point back here in the back parking lot of We Spot. They also have several kind of like ops, comms setups and SWAT team vehicles all around the area. Is anybody else live streaming right now? Chat? Hey, EUN says thank you for filming. Be safe. Watching from Korea. Thank you. I really appreciate it. They sent me 20,000 W financial units. I'll have to look up what that is later. Thank you so much. And it looks like all right. Looks like it. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate that.
Christopher Garner, long live Garner!
Yeah, I think I might be the only one streaming. I draw too much attention to that.
It was following the fuck the police!
Just having some serious issues with my GoPros this morning. I have 3 of them, and I'm not sure if any of them are working. As I've said before, I love the idea of GoPro because when they work, they're beautiful. And you can snap like crystal clear, high def pictures out of moving video footage, but they have a lot of flaws and failures a lot.
Kill yourself, kid. Look at these thugs. You got some tats? Can we see your tats? You got tats? Can we see them? Can you take off your shoes so we know you don't have anything in them? You like that, huh? You like that too?
Can we ask when he was arrested?
Y'all want the weak spot to be gone? That's what the Trumpers here to doing, y'all protecting them, so y'all...
They only protect fascists.
Y'all only protect fascists, but y'all don't even know what y'all out here
Carol Johnson sends a $20 super chat, says, appreciate you filming, take care. Thank you, Carol, I appreciate that. Very kind of you. So how's this this sound setup working for you guys? I've got a Lavelle mic on, but that's all. I don't have a front-facing mic, so I'm assuming you can hear my voice pretty well, but is the crowd conversations, could you hear the cops' responses when I interviewed him? Great. Thanks, guys. It sounds like NPR. I just want to talk about something really boring today and just agree with peacefulness and niceness. And we're going to have a classical composer here discuss how they've spent their life composing classical music. It's my NPR impersonation. Primetime, man, sends a $5 super chat. Thanks, Primetime. Says, nice to see you out. Much respect. Handling yourself like a champ always. Thanks, man. It is starting to get sweaty. I'll bring enough water. At some point, I'm going to have to go on a water run.
Oh, Steve, you want to kill yourself tonight?
Sweaty out here today. Hot. More and more people are marking me with their eyes and noting me.
I thought I warned you to get out of here. What are you doing? You want to get your shit rocked by all these people?
Wait, you don't like transgender people?
Huh?
I'm transgender. Do you have a problem with me?
Why are you filming people? And I asked you a question earlier.
Please leave me alone.
Who are you?
Please leave me alone.
Who are you?
Please leave me alone.
Who are you?
I have a right to be here and
But I
witness
asked
this.
you, who are you?
It's none of your business. Please leave me alone. Who are you? Well, let's treat each other with mutual respect.
What you're doing right now is not allowed. So I'm asking you, who are you?
You don't get to tell me what I can and cannot do. Please leave me alone. I will respect your rights and you respect my rights. Please leave me alone.
With erectile dysfunction, take some Viagra.
Would you mind not shining that light in my eye? Would you not point that light in my eye? I will do what I want to do. You do what you want to do.
This is what I want to do.
You're invading my personal rights. You're putting a light in my eyes.
5 feet away from me, sorry.
If you want to get a good view on it,
Thank you.
I'm not worried about your eyes. I'm worried about the camera lens. Okay, can you see better?
Why do you call yourself an anti-fascist if you're acting like a fascist?
Fascists have
Only rights for you, but not rights for other people.
Is that right?
Yes, that's how you're acting right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you feel that your actions are moral and courageous right now, why are you trying to prevent me from doing my freedom?
Do you know this guy's name?
You know, I
I think there's just a big mistrust of media and anybody who's filming, especially if we're not close or know them. So it's just a precaution.
Okay.
It's literally not personal. It's just because you have a camera and you're filming. So if you're actually
It's actually not bothering me. I've got my sunglasses on, and it's not messing up the camera like you think it is.
If you're here for trans people, you wouldn't pay attention to it, and you would keep your phone on the police.
I'm here for the rights of everybody.
If you're not here for trans people,
We actually know who you are, though. That's the problem.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Fine.
So, like, we don't believe you because we
it's
know.
not.
That's cool.
So this
You're
is
here
it.
to make
Hold
Riot
on.
porn
Let me talk.
No, I actually am not. And if you know anything about my account, you know I've spoken about that a lot, and that's why I don't put out a lot of that stuff anymore. Because I don't like the people that are just getting off on watching this stuff. I am actually an idealistic anarchist. I don't believe anarchy works because it creates a power vacuum and it makes little mafia style like people take power. But I don't believe in the idea of authority. I don't believe people have the right to tell each other what to do.
So anarchy, by my definition, is community working together without the control of the government.
You can make up definitions. Anarchy means no government.
Yes.
It's no archy.
Exactly. It's the communities having control over themselves.
It doesn't work.
No hierarchy.
It's a very ideal thing, but it does not work.
I am half indigenous, and the indigenous people before colonizers got here, your white ancestors, were doing it for thousands of years. 12,000 years.
Why are you assuming my heritage? I have Cherokee heritage.
I'm half Navajo Mexicana.
I don't care what race you are. Like I care about your character. Like I don't care what race you are. But I don't. It's not important.
It's important in the terms of anarchy, whatever how you look at it. It's anti-government because the government does not protect people. This government is anti-indigenous. We don't need the government. We need the communities protecting each other. Is exactly what we're out here doing. We don't need a hierarchy. We don't need a ruling class at all. It works. Look at any indigenous tribe. There's still indigenous tribes living all throughout the world. It works.
Well, let me give you this point. If the indigenous way of government works,
If you say you don't support anarchy,
it ended. They got overcome by more powerful forms of government. That's what I'm saying. Anarchy doesn't. Yes.
We were colonized and illegally occupied.
I'm not saying that's right.
It was not overthrown or washed away. No, it's still here. I'm indigenous. I'm still fucking here. Indigenous communities are still working like that under the suppression of the government. The government, supporting government, and any kind of form of government is anti-indigenous. It is. And you have to understand that. And if you don't, then you don't. That's simple.
You were going to ask me something about anarchy?
No, I mean the indigenous tribes were anarchists. Anarchy doesn't mean chaos. That's a misunderstanding.
I don't think that the Native Americans were anarchist societies.
They did not have deep hierarchy.
They had war structures. They had military structures.
You can be organized.
They had a hierarchy. They had people that like decided that they had something similar to a king.
Anarchism lies in the
that's not what a chief was. Tribal chief is not a king.
But he got to make the final say for the group.
You're speaking out of your asshole in front of an indigenous person, and you're going to make
that's a
me
real
really mad.
misunderstanding. You should check it out. You should check out what the Iroquois Confederation was. That's where the United States Constitution came from. The Iroquois Confederation is the oldest democracy, oldest continuous democracy still around today.
And it wasn't taken over by powerful. We were massacred, raped, pillaged. Indigenous schools, have you not heard about the residential schools? And there's probably over 200,000 indigenous children buried, cold, murdered by the church and the government.
Yeah, the human history has been nothing but savage, lack of love.
No, honey.
All of human history has been like that.
Pale faces, when the white man came over here, the savages came from Europe to kill and murder people. That's when it turned into
Every culture in the world had slaves. Every culture in the world did atrocities. Every single culture. Everybody was savages until just recently in human history.
So you're saying indigenous people were savages until the colonizers?
I said everybody. Everybody. All of human history was savage in their behavior.
This conversation is over because clearly you cannot change your perception of anarchism. It just means no rule, no law.
You don't want to have a discussion. You want me to submit to what you believe, and I don't agree with what you believe. I believe other things.
Exactly, and I don't agree with what you
Yes, and I'm not demanding that you change your insight to me.
Because this conversation's over and it's
You
not going anywhere.
you were the one that started talking to me. You're welcome to stop talking to me.
You're anti-indigenous.
No, I'm not. When have I ever said anything like that?
In an indigenous community, you've never been a part
I
of
am
an
right.
indigenous
I am for the rights and freedom of all people, up until they directly
This
harm
land is
other people.
stolen. This land is stolen and should be given back to the native tribes, period. Period. If you want some sort of fucking government, let the indigenous tribes take care of the land like they were for thousands of years before colonizers came over here. The real savages, because Native Americans were not savages, they had integrated fucking trade networks. We traveled, we walked, we fucking connected with the land. We were not fucking savages. We did not just murder and genocide and pillage people. We didn't go out and cull white people because they were simply white. The only reason natives fought back was because we were being killed, slaughtered, raped. Our land was being stolen and stripped from us. Our names, our hairs.
The Native American tribes in North America were genociding each other before the Europeans arrived.
No, they weren't, and that's where you're really fucked up. They were not genociding each other. They weren't. That is whitewashed history. You need to unlearn that shit. Unlearn it. That's white supremacists taught to you.
Do you realize that you're like speaking in religious language? You're saying the same thing that a religious fundamentalist would say. You're basically saying you need Jesus. You need to get with the Lord. You need to believe what I believe. You're being a bigot.
You're so stupid. You're calling me a bigot because I believe in land.
I'm calling your behavior bigoted. Yes, you're demanding that I believe what you believe just because you think you're right and I'm wrong.
I've been out at every single protest and I haven't seen your ass. So if they fuck you up, let them.
It's very, very peaceful of you.
I don't have to be peaceful. They're not peaceful. The white supremacists that came out here with planned fucking premeditated threats were not peaceful. I don't have to be peaceful. I don't owe anybody peace. They owe us peace. I can be mad. I can be
When you tried to mace me over there and you missed, when you maced me over there in the corner, I've got it on camera. You remember when you tried to mace me over there? I have it on camera.
Nobody maced you, dude.
You can make up whatever you want. I have it on camera. You tried to mace me on camera. How stupid is that?
Nobody maced you, you fucking kid.
Nobody maced you.
Nobody maced you.
It's on camera.
Okay, yeah, but it's not mace.
Nobody
I don't give
maced
a fuck
you.
if it's on camera. It's not mace, bitch.
I can smell you
coughing and dying, huh?
I've smelled mace. I've been maced. I've been maced by
And
cops
you would feel
and
it
white
if I
supremacists.
fucking mace you. You would feel it.
It'd be burning into your skin. I've had it drained out of my eyeballs because of white supremacists.
There's the can that you sprayed me with right there. That's the can that you tried to spray me in the eyes with, and you tried to spray my. Well, you used it as a weapon and tried to assault me with it.
Black hairspray.
Yeah, you tried to film my camera. You tried to block my camera with it, and you failed.
I already told you already to get the fuck out of here.
You get out of here. You totalitarian fascist.
Get the fuck out of here.
Can you back up from me?
No.
I have a right to space.
Then go somewhere else. Keep your space somewhere else.
Yeah, go take space somewhere else.
You can record me all you want. I really don't care.
Why is this allowed? Like
is.
this, you guys are peace officers. It is your job to keep the peace.
Get the fuck out of here.
You're a fascist. Who in this situation is restricting the rights of other people?
Get the fuck out of here.
Who in this situation right here is trampling on somebody's rights?
The cops don't give a fuck about you. The cops don't give a fuck about you. Get out.
They really don't.
They don't. They don't give a fuck.
They really don't.
Oh, am I blocking your view? Oh, sorry.
It's really ridiculous. You have to adjust your mindset and decolonize your mind. You have all the shit you learned about indigenous people is all whitewashed, colonialized history. And so if you truly want to be an ally to indigenous people, you have to listen to indigenous people. I'm an indigenous person speaking to you right now and you're not listening.
My belief system makes me
not trying to
calm,
force anything
and I'm
upon you.
respecting the
I'm
rights of other
telling
people in
facts.
this moment.
You're
Your belief
killing the
system,
people, not the police.
your belief system is making you act hysterical and unstable.
That's what you're fucking doing.
You have a mind virus.
For being rightly pissed off.
You are a virus.
There was a threat coming against us, an aggravated threat to come out here and kill
Well, I'm sorry.
LGBTQ people.
Which one of you guys spray painted all over the building over there to kill the Nazis and everything?
Get the fuck out of here. Who gives a fuck about the building?
So do you agree with Nazis? Do you agree
fucking
with
property?
The fact that you care more about the
Lives
building
were
than the black and
stabbed.
brown lives that are being lost says a lot about you, bro.
The cops
That
don't
says
give
a lot
a
about
fuck
you.
about
If
you.
you have
They don't
any
give a
Cherokee,
fuck
any
about
of your
you.
Cherokee ancestors
They
are
don't.
extremely disappointed in
They
you.
don't give a fuck about you.
You're calling me defensive. I'm literally trying to tell you what the facts are and that you have to decolonize your brain. Everything you learned in grade school about people, about the indigenous people genociding each other, as you would like to say, that was not fucking happening.
Do they teach that in grade school?
They did.
Everything they teach.
I never got taught anything like that. I don't know what grade school you went to.
Dude, you're pretty lucky you have not got your shit rocked yet.
Are you threatening me right now? Are you threatening me? Are you physically threatening me?
That's why I'm fucking taking it.
You're such a fascist. Don't you can't even see what your belief system is. Please step away from me. I'm going to stick my hand out and keep my space here.
Okay.
Please stop pressing your
You're literally the one touching my board.
Please stop pressing your skateboard against me.
Yeah, you literally just said you're gonna.
It's on video, dude.
You just said I'm gonna put your hand on your board to keep space.
You're
just put your hand down.
It's on film. You want to talk about getting shit on film? You're
put your hand down and let's
now.
talk about this. The things you've learned about indigenous people has been whitewashed history.
That's what you believe.
It's not what I believe. It's fact.
I'm not even here to talk about indigenous people. I'm here to witness the clash between views on transgender rights and female rights in society today.
Hello.
Please stop pressing your skateboard against me. Act like an adult. Act like an adult.
Fuck you, fucking professionalism.
So are you a femme? Are you femme? Do you identify as female?
No, I'm a biological male.
Then don't speak for females or trans people.
I will speak whatever I want to speak.
No, you will not speak for us.
You won't speak for us. GoPro on the top of your head is aimed at the ceiling, you dumbass.
Both. I'm a feminist and I'm also trans. Trans people have every right to go to a fucking spa and enjoy their time because they're human beings. We have a right to come out here and protect our lives.
All people have the right to freedom, but you guys are the ones trying to restrict my freedom right now. You're being fascist.
Oh, where? I'm just where fucking boo.
Understand that? Fuck you! You think I don't fucking understand what I'm fucking hearing?
I want both of y'all. What the fuck?
You're fucking lucky. You're both lucky.
Oh, yeah, camera. Tell me that.
Listen, if you really truly want to understand, you need to look at everything from all angles, okay? So if you don't believe me that indigenous society was not savages before, then do your own research. It's simple. Google's free. Google's free. You can use it.
It literally is, bro.
I don't know. I'm not involved at all. But literally you have to do your own research.
What are you filming now? The ceilings? You're filming the buildings, bro? You're really good at this.
Do you support trans people and do you support female rights?
You guys have an obligation to keep the peace.
Yes or no?
They
don't give a fuck about you.
I'm asking you a question. Are you here because you believe in
That officer
trans
shook his
rights?
head when I said that he had an obligation to keep the peace. He shook his head no.
I am asking you a question. It's simple to ask. I'm not attacking you. I'm not hurting you. I'm asking you a question. Are you here because you believe in trans rights and women's rights? Not anything else. Those two specific things.
I'm here because I believe that society is a clash in viewpoints right now. I believe that transgender people need to be given the right to live how they want to and have dignity and respect. I think that women have the right to their freedom and their feelings of safety.
I identify as both female and trans, and I'm non-binary. I have the right to be in spaces where I feel safe. If a trans woman needs to be in a woman's space to be safe, that is her right.
Many biological women don't feel safe.
I'm a biological pussy-having person.
Many biological women don't feel safe with male genitalia in their private spaces.
Genitalia.
Trans women are women. How about that?
Genitalia does not mean anything about gender. Okay. Genitalia does not mean if somebody's sexualizing somebody else's genitalia, that's on them. That's on that woman. They were not threatening her. They were
I'd like to go about my way,
they're
please.
not trying to sexualize
You're impeding my path. I'd like to go on my way. I'd like to go on my way here.
Come on, let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Being a woman is an identity. It's an identity. You're not a woman and you're not trans. So stop speaking for that. Here.
How come you're not keeping the peace, officer?
And the women who are uncomfortable are transphobic. That's the issue. They're not safe here. Because of that woman, her lying about this person being a pedophile.
I think for your safety, you should be.
See, that's why Americans are having a hot problem with the police. I am not the one that's causing violence or causing unrest, and you're asking the peaceful person to leave.
I'm peaceful to you right now. We're talking.
You've been warned multiple times.
Trans women are women. Biology does not determine gender. Okay? That's your identity. That's who you are. You identify as man, right? And if you walked into a male space and some other man assumed that you were trans, that wouldn't be fair to you. Right? It would put your life in danger.
Why is it not fair? People have the right to think whatever they want. Just because someone thinks something about me doesn't affect me.
Exactly, but you have the right to use the bathroom, do you not? You have the right to safely go into the bathroom if you need to fucking pee. If you want to go into a spa as your gender identity, as a man, if you want to go into the men's sections, you have all that right to do it. But trans people are not protected in the same way.
Do you think that we should have? Do you think that we should just have one restroom?
I think there should be restrooms for everybody. Literally, everybody.
That's my point, is that we have a situation in society today that we don't know how to work yet.
Your issue is really about bathrooms. What we can do is clear up.
My issue is the respect for the rights of people.
I'm speaking. I am speaking. So what we can do, if you're scared about pottying, what we can do is in anti-homeless architecture. That's all those gaps in the bathroom. It's anti-homeless to make sure nobody homeless is sleeping in there. So if you're really concerned about a trans person trying to use the restroom, thinking that they might be a sexual predator, then okay, fight homelessness, because fight anti-homeless architecture, so you can have a private, completely sealed off one toilet.
Explain to me. Why are you here?
I think that
everybody has the right to use the restroom.
Yes,
everybody
I agree.
Has the right to have public health. Everybody has the right to live in their gender identity.
There's a reason why.
If I identify as a man.
There's a reason why we have male and female restrooms, because.
Car, or you're going to be arrested.
Get it out of here.
I don't need a knife, dog.
Don't go there.
So listen, trans people deserve to be safe in the space they feel safe. If I want to identify as a man, I should be able to just go into the bathroom and use the restroom and not be like, oh, this person's genitals.
Well, what about all the women that feel unsafe? What about the women that don't feel safe? You don't.
And that's on them.
But would you admit that there's a lot of women that do feel uncomfortable in that situation?
Because they're transphobic and they don't understand trans people.
You gotta leave. You can't be here. This is my zone. This is my working zone. So you work your way that way or work your way that way. But you're not going to stand here.
So
move on.
Are you directing me or the crowd?
We're having a conversation.
So why are you focusing on me?
Go have your crowd over there. Go have your conversation over here.
We're on the sidewalk. You're behind your line. Shut up. So listen. The reason those women are uncomfortable is because they don't see trans
Where would you like me to go?
in their identity.
You know what? I'd like you to go over to the northeast corner of Coronado and Rampart.
That's why those women are uncomfortable.
As far as I understand the law, this is a public sidewalk, and I have the right to be here filming. I'm not committing crimes. I'm not intimidating anybody.
Right, and I'm uncomfortable with them being here, but I'm not telling them to fucking leave, right? They're standing here.
So you're going to target me, and you're going to ignore all this stuff. This is why America's not backing the blue anymore.
So the reason those women are uncomfortable is because they don't see trans people valid in their identity. And that's on them. It's not the trans person's fault. The trans person does not have to cater to somebody else's sensibility. Just like if I want to wear these shorts and they made you uncomfortable, I don't have to take I don't have to take these shorts off because they make you uncomfortable.
The people that
I don't care if it makes somebody else uncomfortable. If they're not harassing them, if they're not actively assaulting them, if they're not being predatory, then it doesn't fucking matter.
Well, I think trans people deserve dignity, and I think women deserve to feel safe when they feel
trans
vulnerable.
Women are women. There are trans people who are women. So women and trans people go hand in hand. The women who are transphobic are the problem, because they're actively saying that this person's a pedophile just simply because they have this gender identity and they don't have the same genitals that they may want.
Like, you know that we all know you're a gay, right?
But understand that and decolonize your mind. Do some research into indigenous communities, okay, and into indigenous definitions of anarchism, not white definitions.
How you doing, man?
You have every space to go, okay? This person that's standing here, one person with a flag is not hurting you. All you have to do is turn around and film this.
Like, who dressed you? Your mom? Did your mom go to Target and, you know, pick out a little stuff from a boy's large? Yeah? That looks about your size. Boy's large. My shoes are definitely bigger than yours. Shit. Let me get 3 cameras to compensate for my tiny penis. And then let me come yell at people to get my anger out, because I have a dysfunctional home and I don't know how to express my feelings. Motherfucker, did you even go to school? You couldn't tell the difference between pepper spray and hairspray. Like, that's some next level dumbass shit right there. Some next level shit. Oh, thanks. It's a good spot. It's a good spot. Yeah. Good spot. It's a really good spot. Yeah.
The thing that bothers me most about this is not Antifa. It's how the police are treating the ones not causing the problems as the problem. You guys have seen this throughout the whole last year or so. Out of all that, when all these people are doing all this stuff, I'm the one that's getting targeted. So I wanted to say thanks for the super chat from Adam Giron. Thank you so much. Thank you for Picky Lee Cat. Thank you for doing what you do. $20 super chat. I've probably missed some, so please forgive me. The Reverend Gunn says the BCP Brigade is praying for your protection. Thank you. Appreciate the love, you guys.
He's like, don't call him. He's Mr. Nimbus. He controls the police. Why? He just called. When he called the police, he was like, what do you mean I was like,
So all cops enforce unconstitutional laws. Wake up, folks. Our government is tyrannical. I believe too. I don't believe that police departments are just. Like I want to, but how many times do you have to see stuff like this where I'm the one being targeted by the police when the other people are acting the way that they've been acting? It's ludicrous. Political prosecution in America is getting crazy. Anybody that just people can riot and destroy neighborhoods and attack people, but somebody that just comes out and peacefully stands against it and shows what's happening, that's who the police are going to target. It's not right. Crazy, like how our society came to this, to where this is what people are able to do. Tyrannize people, attack people, intimidate people, destroy property. MG says stay safe, $10 super chat. Thank you, MG. Captain Deplorable says, Muhu haha, $20 donation.
What do you think about this whole thing? Are you live?
Yeah, I'm live.
What do you think about the whole trying to brand queer people as pedophiles thing? It's kind of played out,
I
right?
think that's not right. Like nobody knows who the person was in there, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about this? Let me ask you a question. So in the male locker room, almost nobody walks around naked, usually. They usually cover up, they get undressed, but you don't just walk around, and there's always that old guy that everybody notices, and like he's air drying his balls, and he's like just put his knee up on the table and stuff. There's always that guy. And I've talked to a bunch of women in the last couple of weeks about this, and they say it's basically the same in the girls' locker room. They don't just walk around flaunting.
Oh, Korean spas are different. So Korean spas are like, everyone pretty much walks around naked, because like the spas have, like the treatments are all nude, traditionally people are nude, the saunas are nude and all that stuff, right? And so it's like people are pretty much naked in there, and that's just like that's a very Korean spa kind of thing.
My thing is
most trans women that I know would be like, if I were preoperative and I still had male like a penis, I wouldn't be flaunting it in a place.
That's what my point was. They were kind of being provocative.
Yeah, but, I mean, if it even happened.
And so people are different. There are certain things that are going to happen. There are people that see the world through the transgender understanding. They feel they're transgender, they identify, and they live their life a certain way. They're not hurting people. But then there's also women that a lot of women are very uncomfortable with male genitalia in the female locker room, and that's their space. What they feel like they can be vulnerable in it. So, like, both sides are just like attacking the other side and not trying to actually decide how are we going to respect all people. And
yeah, I mean, I still don't think it happened. Like,
What you look at the video, it's not just the black woman that came out yelling, but there's another woman in there in her bathrobe. She like left the locker room in her bathrobe, and I think there were a couple other women in there. So
I just know that like every brand of queer person since queer was a thing has been labeled a pedophile. There's still people who think gay couples should not be able to adopt because they're pedophiles, right? So I frame it in a larger context and say, look, I don't know if it happened or not. All I know is the alt-right's obsessed with pedophilia. Pizzagate happened, right? They thought that there was a pedophile ring in a fucking pizza parlor in Connecticut. Dude shot it up, right? So I think it's dangerous rhetoric, and I think it's old. I think it's an old, played-out trope that queer people are going to be associated with pedophilia to demonize them, right? And so part of my opinion in the alt-right is as long as you hate the right people, you can be a part of this. And I see this as an attempt to paint trans people, which is trans is the new out group that has to be hated, right? So I think that people are.
I think both factions of society are wrong. Both extremes are wrong. I'm a centrist. I want the rights for everybody. I want the best way to get along with everybody. Like I hate that we can't have certain conversations about hot topics in society because one side will label the other side evil for having the opposing view. But we have to talk. We have to get along.
I think you've got people who are generally a little bit more conservative or a little bit more like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about penis in a female locker room. I think there's people who have legitimate concerns that should be heard, right? And I think you've got a whole bunch of other people who call everyone that they hate commies and pedophiles.
Yeah.
And largely, when these groups come out to protest, it's like 80% of the hateful group and then 20% of people who have legitimate concerns because it's such a fucking niche issue with everything that's going on in this country.
Yeah, like I wasn't here at the last event. I think it was on the 3rd. Yeah. But that preacher group, I hate those people that come out with the flaming flag signs.
Their asses beat every time they come out.
I don't think there's anything that you can consciously respect. Yeah, that's how they act. Yes, I do not. I've disassociated from certain people that I've interacted with before because they associate with those kind of people. I just like I don't like to disassociate people, but that is so far beyond. Just
I don't
holding
like
signs.
The framing of two extremes though, because I feel like one of these so-called extremes is extreme tolerance, right? And maybe sometimes it sparks culture wars and it gets people uncomfortable and pushes the boundaries of what people are comfortable with. But at the end of the day, I feel like one of the groups is pushing for extreme acceptance, extreme tolerance, and more visibility of, hey, there's all kinds of different sexual orientations. There's people who are trans. There's people who are non-binary. And they're not pedophiles. The vast majority of kids who are molested by straight men. Right?
What do you think about? Do you think people should have the freedom of association? Do you think that, let's say those people that like think all the queer people are pedophiles?
Yep.
Should they be able to have their own neighborhood where like transgender things aren't allowed to happen, or those expressions aren't? Should they be able to have their own society?
No, I mean, I think the Constitution makes it pretty clear that the rights of the majority don't override the rights of the minority. Because otherwise, you could say, should white people be able to have a whites-only town?
But that's another form of tyranny, to where everything has to be the same. Everything has to be exactly the same. No, do you think there is a movement amongst some black groups in America today that are saying that they want to separate? They want a black ethno state. Do you think that they should be able to have that?
I think they should be able to speak their minds.
I think they should be able to have that. If they truly want that, I don't think they should force it on other people. Like, I don't know how you would make that happen. Like, you have to remove certain people from a certain area. I don't know how that happens. But I think we need to have these conversations. People need to have freedom. And if a certain people wants to live in their way, and in order to let the other people in.
I don't know. That's the justification that the Confederacy used to secede, and I think that they seceded so that they could continue the institution of slavery and owning people. And
I don't agree with slavery. I don't actually believe that the Civil War was completely about slavery. I do believe that was a strong issue there.
Civil War is about money, but slavery was a big driver of wealth, actually for the North and the South, to be honest with you, because all the cotton that was picked by slaves was milled in the North, and they made money off of it too. But
I think that, let's say that there were actually a big group of Nazis today. I think that word is, I don't like how it's used so much, because there are actually some Nazis today.
We see people around,
but when you call everybody that,
I don't.
And when people use that word so broad, it deletes the word. I also don't like the way that they use the pedophile word so broadly, because pedophilia is one of the most disgusting things in the world. And if And if you
speaking in
if
California
you,
today.
if you blur that word to where it doesn't mean anything anymore, then you can't use it for what it actually is. You can't like so how even you if somebody were to say, hey, there's a pedophile over there, you would assume that there wasn't a pedophile over there, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, worse than that is it's not just that the word loses meaning, it's that people associate trans or queer or non-binary with pedophilia. There have been over 30 trans people murdered this year so far in America. Last year, I think there was 28 all year, or 40 something all year, and trans people experience bigoted violence and murder at rates far exceeding that of the rest of the population.
So I've never talked to you before, so you don't know my history. I dealt with gender dysphoria since I was 8 years old. I am a biological male. I live my life as a male. Obviously, I walk, talk, act like a male.
Yep.
I wanted to be a woman for a really long time. I even went like down the trans road for a little bit. I didn't find that it made my life better. I found that it made my life worse. So I have decided to try to conform my desires to my biological nature rather than trying to change my biology to my desires. I know, but why I'm giving you that background is like I have compassion for trans people. It's horrible. It's so confusing and painful. I have compassion for them, but I don't think that they just get to no longer care about the rights of other people though. Like these ladies that let's say hypothetically it did happen. You don't believe it did. I think it did. Those ladies have a right to feel safe.
Because I don't want people chasing people down.
Stay safe, man. I'm gonna go up there. There's a large group of cops forming up there. I hope you guys watching like acknowledge the success I'm having in navigating this. It's not an easy task to do what I'm doing. Hey, oh man. Do I have mods in here? Can you like ban that guy? You can't say stuff out in my chat, or somebody got him, so thank you. Thank you.
Take my picture or something?
Back up on the sidewalk. Get back on the sidewalk. Get on the sidewalk. Get back on the sidewalk. Over back.
I'm going to put my hand in the air just to make sure I'm not mistaken for having my hand on a weapon.
You pussy, bro! You pussy, bro! Let's go back!
If I have any Proud Boys watching this chat, please let the local chapter know that I'm not Antifa. Excuse me.
Trans hate online. They've been creating protests in
So if you guys are just tuning in, I'm at the corner of Coronado and Wilshire in downtown Los Angeles. I'm 1 block away from Rampart in Wilshire, which is the location of the Wii Spa, center of controversy this last month. About a month ago, a woman led a couple other women out of the locker room in the women's locker room, and they said that there was a trans woman, a biological male, with their biological male genitals showing in the locker room, and a lot of women were very uncomfortable with that, so they approached the staff. The staff didn't really do anything about it. There was a riot here on July 3rd. A group of right-wingers showed up to protest. There were some very extreme street preacher people.
What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you?
And then Antifa showed up that day with stated intent to attack the other protesters. So the right-wing crowd that day was a mixture of women just alone and by themselves coming to ask for their rights to be respected. There was also a extremist wing of street preachers, the Hellfire kind of street preachers. And then there was a few Proud Boys and a few conservatives there. And there was a clash that day. It got pretty nasty. But today, this has been announced by both sides for several weeks, and both sides are here with stated intent to attack the other side. Antifa here is stating that they are their goal, they're saying, is to protect trans rights. They want the right of biological men to be able to go in the women's locker room. And the conservative crowd here, or the right-wing crowd, however you want to describe it, is here with their stated agenda to protect women's rights. So the right-wing crowd is slandering the left-wing crowd as pedophiles, and the left-wing crowd is slandering the right-wing crowd as Nazis. This needs to stop in our society. We can have conversations and create a better world, but this clash between groups is not going to make things better. So again, for those of you that aren't up to date, I'm here at the corner of Coronado and Wilshire in downtown LA, 1 block away from the Wii Spa, a center of controversy this last month. There are 2 crowds here that have both have their different agendas. It's getting a little bit rough out here.
Nazis go home! Nazis go home! Nazis go home! Step back! Nazis go home! Get your finger off that trigger! Nazis go home! Nazis go home! Nazis go home! So you keep inching towards me, stop sitting close to me.
I'm not trying to get close to you, sorry.
You're getting too close.
I have no intent to get close to you, officer. I'm going to pause for just a second. That's my video and audio right now, you guys.
There's a dispersal. 5 minutes. Dispersal. A dispersal.
It looks like they've cordoned off the street on Wilshire, just past Rampart. They've got several officers, cars blocking the street. I don't know if those city buses back there are to do with this or they've just been blocked in traffic. I don't know what the city buses are here. I don't know if they're here for mass arrest or if they're here to be barricades.
Anyone does not want to get kettled, this way is the way to go. They don't have the numbers.
Oh, I wish I had more water.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Going good. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. It was an interesting conversation you had.
Yeah, I thought it was a valuable conversation. Can I walk down this way?
You gotta go that way.
All right. Can I pet your dog?
He doesn't really like strangers usually.
Can I try?
Try.
I'm kind of a dog whisperer.
You know how to do it right. It's usually
Yeah.
lean over him and he gets nervous.
Yeah, I love dogs. I film a lot of this kind of stuff, and I'm always finding a dog in the crowd to pet. Oh, it's a good pupper. What's his name?
Winfrey.
Winfrey. That's a nice name for him. Well, thank you, man. Doggo. They're giving an official dispersal. Is that what this is?
Yeah, they said 5 minutes about 3 minutes ago.
What did they say? Were they're starting arrests?
They didn't say. He just said it's an official dispersal.
All right.
Para despertarse son las siguientes. Están en Wilshire, se pueden seguir al este, hasta el Alvarado. Están en la Wilshire, al oeste de Colorado, al oeste hasta la calle Lafayette. Tienen 2 minutos para despertarse.
What do you guys think in the chat? Do you think I should stay over on this side and keep filming this side, or do you think I should go over to the other side and film over there? there's not too much action right now because the cops already pushed, and that caused a little bit of chaos. And then the crowds are separated, so the two crowds aren't interacting right now.
Anybody in the street, they are not playing fair, so they may be subject to laws. They're probably going to move the line forward, but they might.
Have they arrested anybody over here right now? See, guys, I don't know the culture and the dynamics here, so I don't know. In Portland and Seattle, I know the culture there, so I know where you can film from and where you can't.
If you are east of Coronado, it will be moved eastbound. And then PG got caught on the other side, so PG's getting the story.
It looks like over the conservative crowd is. You see the conservative crowd moved. It looks like they're in the parking lot back there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I assume that's what that is.
Yeah, let my Gatorade.
Might be what's going around. They're gonna rush this.
Once that street sign goes off, I'm being real careful about that because they've threatened to arrest me for stupid little things like this. There we go. I'm gonna try to see if I can go through there.
Oh, obviously us because.
You want to go around? Yeah, let's see.
This is a top.
Excuse me.
Tell that Cuban wait.
So I'm walking with Jeremy Lee Quinn right now, kind of keeping an eye on each other's backs. We're going to walk around the block and try to get to the Patriot side. Huh?
I'm famous.
You are?
You're yelling my name out.
Ah.
Antifa.
They don't like you?
Nah.
I thought you flew under the radar on both sides pretty well.
I thought I did too, but this 2 weeks ago it really went down.
Yeah?
And I called out all of their press on their shit.
Oh, yeah?
Their press is in my video shooting the same attacks, but their press, there's about a dozen of them that are like the line press, and they posted nothing of that. So
yeah,
they got they're on my case.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Do you think this is safe to drink?
No, but we should go one more through. Fucking bastard! So we go all the way around. This is like a greatest hits. I'm meeting all my independent schools that I've met throughout the last year are all
Hello.
here today.
So I've been trying to think about like I'm gonna put a uniform together for this, like
yeah.
distinct every time the same way. I can't figure out how to do it without looking like one or the other side. Or without just standing out so hard. I can't walk out just like in a white suit or something. Like, no, I'm neutral.
Well, that's why I'm in flip-flops and just whatever. So
yeah.
I don't get confused as part of the combat. You know?
Yeah.
No, they're really fanatical here. That woman has been on me for the last half hour or so. And I said, I live here. Actually, this is my neighborhood. Like, it's my community. I've lived here. Been part of this community since 2003. I've been to that spa several times. Because it's an Asian style spa.
Yeah.
So it's public bathing. That's what both sides don't really understand.
It's what? What'd you
public bathing. So they have
public bathing. It's like a bathhouse.
That's what it's like a bath, but it's a family bathhouse. So
Japanese and Korean culture, in those cultures, it's common to go to public baths. They're called onsen in Japanese, and it's there's nothing like wrong about it, but in the context of downtown LA, where people are putting whatever militant issue on it, it's just become crazy. It's been used, in other words, by opportunists to.
So then, with that being known about the culture of that spa, would it still be taboo for a biological male to be in the women's space with male genitals?
Yes, in traditional Japanese, because you have to also put it in the structure of the culture that it's in. In traditional Japanese and Korean spas, it would be they've been separated for hundreds of years by so nobody talks about that. It's just used to label other people transphobe and beat them up, which we.
So the public bathing, explain that to me.
So
Let me stand this side so you're closer to my lavalier.
So I went actually when I was a kid in Japan, and what happens is you go to a public. People are running down the street here. What's going on here? Oh, that's the right. That's that young kid right there with the bullhorn that just walked by. He organized the protest. So this is the right wing. He organized the protest. 2 weeks ago, and they beat him up. They beat him up like they completely beat him up.
Come on, you guys, we gotta stay tight. Let's go. All right, move out! Move out! Move out! Move out! Move out!
All right, I'm gonna have to change my mic setup, guys. I'm gonna go just the phone mic because my battery's going low, and I gotta plug my battery in. Put the phone down just for a second.
Save our children! One more reason to recall George Gascon. Yes, it is. Like we don't need another. Save our children!
Yes, sir.
So Gypsy Red sent $20 super chat, thank you. And Samantha DeGroot, $5 super chat, thank you. pause for just a second.
Children deserve to be in a safe area. Children deserve to be protected from pedophiles. Something about boy cop, peace, boy cop,
All right, guys, here I'm at the corner of corner of 7th and Coronado in Los Angeles right now. This is the conservative or right-wing faction that is here today to protest and act around the chaos of the Wii Spa controversy that's been going on this last month.
First Amendment rights. 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 Look at how you're acting. You should be ashamed of yourself. Look at how you're acting. You're acting like pieces of shit. Look at how they're acting.
We will not be silent, ever. We will not be silent. We have a First Amendment right, and we're protecting it.
Ma'am, what brings you out here today? What's your perspective?
For me, it's about protecting women, that we have a right to feel safe in female spaces. And I don't want to have a penis around my vagina.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable stance. Yeah.
And if you open the door for self-identification, it can allow any kind of bad people in. And it's not about transgender. It's about protecting women.
Yeah. I agree. I think women and children need to have the right to feel safe in their vulnerable spaces. Thank you.
LAPD supports pedophilia. I guess they are in bed with George Gascon now.
It's getting hot out here, you guys.
Michael Moore has got to go. That's one thing we agree with BLM.
Let's go!
I'm trying to talk to traitors.
Move. Move fast. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up. Move back.
Get off the street! Get off the street!
Bitch got some pointy titties.
Get off the street! Yo, get off the street, guys!
Hey! Get out of
Hey! Hey, stay together! Stay together! Back up! Stay together! Stay together! Stay together! Let's start moving! Stay together! Hey! Stop! You're gonna hit you! Stop! Stop! Come on, move along!
He was complying. He was complying. He was complying. He was leaving. He was complying. He was complying with your order to leave.
He tripped over the fucking stair. He tripped on the ground. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Get his bag, get his helmet.
You beat a person, throw him on the ground and arrest him. That's the blue line. You know I always fucking hated you,
Yeah, he was on your side. He's trying to tell us.
You guys saw on the camera he was obeying the officer's order. I'm talking to my live stream. You guys, I think it caught on the camera pretty well, but he was obeying the officer's order, and the officer started poking him in the back with his nightstick and took him to the ground.
Are you Antifa? Someone just mentioned that you're Antifa. Yes, she is. Someone just mentioned that you're Antifa. Why are they saying that you're Antifa? They have to look at people
Because he looked like it. No, she is. She is.
Hey, what matters is she's not hurting anybody.
No, I know she's not hurting anybody. If she's Antifa, I would like to have a conversation. That's all.
Oh, okay. But just don't anybody attack her. First Amendment, freedom of press, it doesn't matter who she is.
I think you should be able to have a freedom of speech if you are.
Okay, you guys, hey, we need to go because they definitely.
Let's go. Let's go.
So much for
Patriots.
There's Antifa right there. She's among us. She is among us.
So I don't know if anybody's able to clip that. That guy was, from what I saw, he was walking away the order. Like obviously he's going to be turning around and looking at the officer that's poking him. So. Hey, you're Will, right? Will? Was that your name? I saw a little bit of stuff you were doing with Preacher last week. I'm filling a report out of Portland.
Okay.
Yeah. Bunch of my chat, I guess they follow you. They were like, oh, Will's going to be there tomorrow. It's so hot out right now. I actually love it. It feels perfect. Just wish I wasn't carrying this backpack around. It's got my batteries in it. Look what those buses are doing. I don't see bus stops on this street. So.
They allow Antifa and BLM to represent. Hey, get tight! Why don't you get tight? Everybody go to the floor! Let's go! It's in the right way.
Chat, do you guys know, is that the lady that was at the center of the initial confrontation at the WeSpa?
Together. Let's make the pigs work today! Save our children! Save our children!
Some of my chats, like, are you the lady that was at the center of the issue at the WeSpa?
Yeah.
You are?
No, not I was at the center of the protest.
Okay,
the
okay.
last protest.
Okay, do you know if she's here today?
No.
Oh,
I don't think I haven't seen her.
Yeah, she got a lot of death threats, didn't she?
That's right.
Elizabeth Van Doren sends $50 super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And Jay Lindsay sends $25 super chat. Thank you. Appreciate that. I know I probably have missed some today. I really appreciate you guys helping cover the financial cost of this stuff. The screen is it's so bright, it's hard for me to see when the Cash App notifications come up. I can't see them. But I have seen that a couple came through, and thank you guys for doing that. I appreciate that. It does. Usually these events, like even with all the support, they are usually a big cost to me. So I love doing it, and I'm willing to do that because it's stuff I care about. But it does really help me, and I'm very thankful when you guys help me cover those costs.
Hold on. We're giving you a chance.
There's a nice little park over there with a pool, some water. No, I'm not. I'm villain report. Ask preacher.
Get out of here, bro.
I'm villain report. Ask. There's several people here who will vouch for me.
Who are you though? Why'd they spray you?
What?
Why'd they spray you?
I don't. He just thought I was.
Who are you?
Preacher. People know who I am.
I know. Why did you?
I already got a text that you're
Why did you
here.
get sprayed?
Huh?
Why did you get sprayed?
Maybe they thought
I stream. I stream. I'm out of Portland. I stream the riots and stuff.
I know. Even if you're the letter, we can't just be spraying people. You know
What?
I mean? We can't just be spraying people. That's fucked up.
Yeah, it is fucked up that they sprayed me.
Hey, you're getting it on your eyes. Get some water.
Fuck.
Not that they should take my word for it, but I mean, you all right?
No, I gotta go find water.
Walk away.
Agua?